Hey everybody, it's Jordan with PDQ.com. It's time for another PDQ A, where I stand here and answer nothing, and people in the chat do my work for me. And for that one, I guess let's just dive into the first question.
All right, here we go. Let's kick this thing off. Guys, I use the Zoom Collections and Auto-Deploy package. There is a bug in Zoom 5.5 and newer that only impacts certain devices for us. I have downgraded affected devices to Zoom 5.4.9 and created a collection for them. How can I utilize the 5.4.9 collection as an exclusion for auto-deploy to preview accidental upgrades? Thanks, Chad B.
All right.
Is it preview or previous?
Previous.
Previous.
I'm not sure. So if this one is, the 4 machines that are bad, you could build a static collection. Here, we'll just name this one don't install. So you have your 4 machines that you know you don't want to install on there. Then on the package itself, 7-zip is Zoom in this scenario. You're going to have to follow along with the complex twists and turns. We want to go with is not a member of the collection we just built, the don't install. And that way the ones that aren't upgrading properly won't be part of the automated package if that's the if I'm understanding the question.
That's definitely one way to do it. The other way to do it, Jordan, is to do a nested collection, where basically you build a collection that says it's got to be part of Zoom old and it cannot be part of your don't install collection.
Okay, so come down here to, you just basically build a nested one under Zoom client?
No, I'd actually just build a new one.
Okay.
Just build a new one.
Are we doing dynamic or static?
Dynamic, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all of our...
And then
Sorry.
name that production Zoom or whatever, Lex's worst
Okay.
version. I like it. Okay, in the computer table, go over to, and it's in the computer table. Go to
I'm
collection.
with you. Computer.
Yep, collection.
Collection. It's alphabetical, right? I don't know how that works. So is member or is not member?
Is member of Zoom.
Just
And
the
I do
Zoom client,
Zoom
the
old
base
because
one?
this is going to be production, right? So
Yeah.
Zoom old.
So is member of Zoom old, but is not a member of another one?
And then, the next one is not a member of the one you just built.
There we go. That's 2 ways just to kind of avoid those ones that are having struggles until you can figure out what's going wrong with that upgrade for you.
Is that a point each?
Yes.
I pointed out his version was worse. It was right in the title.
And one for Colby/audience.
Yeah,
There's our new
'cause
computer names, which I love.
All right. So everybody, I feel like Oprah. Everybody gets
Everyone
a
gets
point.
a point. You get a point.
You
Well,
get a
since
point.
PREV meant prevent
Prevent.
and not previous or, yeah.
Okay. Next
Okay,
question.
so the next 2 questions are AutoCAD questions. Do you guys want to take them individually or just one right after another and then do the whole thing? Your call.
Well, as the
One at a
person who
time.
won't be answering these, I won't weigh in.
Let's just start with the first one. Hey guys, hope all is well. I'm in the process of creating a package for AutoCAD 2022 and it keeps failing on me. I'm new to PDQ, so I'm sure that I'm adding the wrong file within the package details. Would you mind walking or talking me through the process? Thank you, KS Smith 15.
Kevin Smith.
Couple of things to look for. I mean, one, if you're actually doing the install, using the install step to copy all the files over, you definitely going to want to tag that include directory. That'll probably grab most of those. The other thing I do know about AutoCAD is that I believe they've got a wizard or whatever, an install wizard that creates a batch file or a script that you can run across the network. And, that's just, AutoCAD has gigatons of data in regards to their installs. So, maybe another way to do that would be to take a look at that script and possibly run that. So those are 2 ways I'd take a look.
Yeah, we've done a couple of webcasts on that one where we do in-depth coverage. I think Kelly just linked that in the chat.
Yeah, we have, I think, 4 videos on AutoCAD. I've given you the link for the latest one. I think that was 2019, though, so that's been a little while. Alexander's also included a sign and install how-to guide.
To make some new AutoCAD videos.
Well,
Yes, we
it's
do.
also worth noting they announced they're changing the way to install for AutoCAD for some products, but not all of them. So there might be some changes coming down for the pipeline for new products going forward.
All right.
right.
Should we take the next one?
AutoCAD question number 2. Hello, I am working on a continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment pipeline for our Autodesk Inventor add-ins. I would like to use PDQ deploy at the end of this pipeline to deliver the add-ins to our end users. My question is whether you have documentation regarding this. Thank you, MBK.
I don't know. Again,
You know, we don't have documentation, PDQ on that. Definitely something we probably should look into because it's very popular. So maybe I can look it up and see what we can do about pumping out a video for you guys.
we have one blog post for silently deploying AutoCAD, but it doesn't mention anything past that one. So I don't
Yeah,
think we have anything.
this might be something that has to be scripted.
Yeah.
Alex N just put in some info.
I think user dissatisfaction got a point on that one.
I was giving no points because, we came up blank on that one.
The audience is getting some.
All right, we'll
Okay.
give them another one. How about that?
Okay.
And the audience is now in the
Let's
lead.
just give them
That's
points all
fine.
day.
They're
Well done. Hey guys, what are PDQ's thoughts for new customers looking to move away from GPO-based software deployments to ensure a seamless transition? I assume I'd want to disable those GPOs, but do you have any other recommendations for starting software deployments with PDQ? Should the GPO reg keys be deleted, etc.?
Where you mentioned specifically this is only for software deployments, not for your general settings. As far as the reg keys, that's probably not as important because it's just installing software probably on logon. So you could probably, I would at first only disable those. Just make sure deploy is covering everything you're looking to have installed, meet the same needs. The biggest gap that you're going to find is logon installs, where this one would be more on a schedule. GPO can do it for whenever a user logs on. Other than that, you could pretty much simulate everything on deploy. Once that's working, you can go ahead and remove the software install GPOs.
Is that a Jordan point?
That's a Jordan point.
Hey, I got one.
All right, next one.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Is there a way to uninstall Legacy Edge after installing Edge for Business, or do I need to rely on Windows updates for that? Thanks, Josh C.
The problem with that one is when you install the new Edge, the reason it doesn't remove the legacy Edge, it just points to the new one, is a lot of the search and file systems in Windows are based on it, so they actually prevent you from removing it and just hiding it. So it is under the Apex packages, which we'll go and find that one real quick. You can see here 89, this one is the new version, and where is it at? The non-removal is listed as Windows key, not spacebar. Non-removal is listed as false, but if you go and look at the previous versions, they have the non-removal listed as true. So it's going to block you from removing those. You can bypass that, but the reason it's there is since you can remove the core Edge, if you remove legacy as well, you're going to have pretty serious issues with your computer. It's going to be slow on if you're searching for files. So they just kind of keep it there as a backup. There are some methods out there where you can bypass the non-removable. I wouldn't recommend it in this case.
Hey, Jordan, pull up deploy and go search for Edge because I think there's an uninstall package there.
For which one? Because it has to keep a certain level of it.
Yeah. No, you got to go to the package library.
The package library, yeah. Thank you.
Because I looked at this one this morning. I'm like, I wonder if that does do that.
It's uninstall Edge Chromium. It's the
Oh, okay.
HTML one is the one we're looking to get rid of.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Microsoft prevents that. It is an Apex, but they prevent it because so much of their system is built on that. I don't know if that's going to eventually be replaced with the Chromium version, but for now, they're going to make it very difficult. Oh, apparently April Windows 10 update removes legacy Edge. So my guess is that then you probably have to wait for the update because that's when they're going to shift it over to using the Chromium-based one. But is the non-removable is pretty set for the apex on that one.
Point Jordan, half point Lex.
Half a point.
I'm almost wondering if point Jordan, half point Lex, half point audience because the April's Windows 10
yeah.
update.
Let's give Jordan 2 points and everyone else 1.
Wow, you're generous.
I
I feel like
Well, no, it's the same
amounts
thing
to
as
the
giving
same
1 and a
thing.
half.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just we don't have to deal with integers.
Half points, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Math.
I know.
All right, next question. I have a scan step in my package for creating a new computer. Sometimes it doesn't work. I get an error that it's not found in inventory. How can I make sure that it works every time? Sincerely, Curtis J.
Let's see. So I'm going to reread that one. New computer.
You know, I think part of it is you gotta, if you're using Active Directory sync, probably want to be a little more aggressive because you're trying to hit it before it gets into your inventory. So you may kick off a sync before you run that package. That's one way to get it in there. Jordan, any thoughts?
I'm just going to read what Colby put in there. If you're using MDT, you can call inventory and do an AD sync or manually add the computer. And then there's a blog on that under MDT imaging in PDQ deploy.
Colby was just copying me, so I should get extra points.
I'm not in charge of the points because apparently the system thinks that I would cheat. I would cheat.
Yeah,
We know you too well. Lex, you get points.
Score.
you would have gotten them anyway if you hadn't made your case. Just so you know.
I just feel I have to argue my validity of my points every time I get them.
Okay. I suppose there's some precedent behind that.
Hey guys, is it possible to push Windows version updates? I'm interested in upgrading our clients to version 20H2. Carlos G.
It is possible. The issue is the reporting back that was successful. On that one, when it reboots to finish the install, it takes so long to come back up. A lot of times the package itself times out, and so it reports as a failure when it hasn't necessarily failed. It's just the time it takes is a bit too long. There are some forum threads out there on how to do this that have done it successfully that you can look into. It's just about accounting for how long it takes to reboot when you do the version upgrade like that.
I want to add one more thing to that. I mean, if you've ever done a feature upgrade and had driver problems where you could blue screen, that's, it's one of those looming issues that can, that always hangs out there. Will it happen? So, I have that rule. It's like you can do a lot of good with automation. You can do a lot of bad with automation really fast. So if you're going to do it, which I've done it works pretty good. Just do it in small groups. So if you have a bad day, it's only a small bad day, not a big bad day.
Yeah, it's just one where you can make it work, but we can't really validate by the end. Or as Marcel said, technically yes, recommended no.
Brevity. I should almost give Marcel some points for that one. Guys, is there a way you can include custom fields in an SQL report? P. Thiessen.
So I definitely didn't just read Marcel's answer in the pre-show about this, but if after you run the report, you sort by that column and then save it, the next time it runs, it should keep that setting. Oh, that was not at all stolen.
I know you know how to play the game. You know that you can just read these before. Right, Lex?
Well, what do they say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying, and it's only cheating if you get caught. So you're okay, Jordan.
What's
How
our
the
scores
old
looking
Olympic.
like?
Kobe says I answered the wrong question.
Oh, well, then we're
go
taking
back.
points away.
Let's go back, take points away, and see what I did wrong.
You want that question back up?
If I answered the wrong question,
I
it
got to
should
see.
probably-
Hang on. Let me.
So a SQL report that has
Oh,
custom
yeah.
fields in it, I think you should be able to. I just have never tried it.
I did answer the wrong question.
Dude, that's embarrassing.
Wow.
But at least you admitted. Not only did you answer the wrong question,
Yeah,
but
I stole the wrong answer
that
for the wrong question.
that you were looking at the question list in advance. So,
So, time out. Am I the only one not cheating here?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
Apparently
crap.
so.
Crap.
So I can open up, and that's my first not centered window. Sorry, JJ. I can open up the SQL reports, but I'm really bad. Really bad at SQL.
Okay, so custom fields are in their own table, but they're referred to in the custom table or the computer table, right?
you want to hide that question, Jake? See that?
There we go.
So,
So
I
I'm
wonder
in the
where that
computer.
table is for custom fields.
Yeah, so it might be possible, but that's probably going to take some research of diving into the
Yeah.
database to find. And I'm the last person you want opening up a SQL database. So,
Colby, you got any of those blog posts for us? Have we answered this question before?
He did list one, yes.
Okay, cool. So Colby for the point.
Yep, and if that doesn't help, that's one where if you could send a ticket to support, they could probably help you find that one if it is possible.
So what's our scores looking like?
I don't want to know this.
No, actually, Jordan, you're doing okay. So Jordan has 7 points. Lex and the audience are both tied at 5.
Okay.
Does this count me
7
answering the
points?
wong question?
No, it
No?
does not.
Oh.
I mean, one of
agree
those he
with
got
that.
2
So-
points on.
I answered a chat question correctly.
Don't push it.
Okay, all right. We'll let
Yeah,
this
don't
go.
justify your points. Just let them happen.
Okay.
Alright, next one.
Gentlemen, is there an easy way to modify the PowerShell user last logged on to include log-off events or duration of logon? We audit PC use for PCs connected to laser cutters and other machines with hourly charges. Alexander N.
So for PowerShell, if you could put anything in, there's 6 different profiles that will run automatically when running. So if you on PowerShell run $PS home, in there's a profile.ps1. It's in this case Windows System 32 PowerShell version 1. Profile.ps1, that should be for all users and all hosts. So if you put the script you're looking for in there to grab that information, it will run for everyone on that machine when they log in. As far as the PowerShell, I don't have the knowledge for diving into the event log off the top of my head. I could, I guess, open up our PowerShell scanner.
Now,
We've got a couple in there.
If you're charging money based on the last logged on and then log off, you may also want to include something like a timeout on that as well, so that you can have some accuracy when requesting money from them.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
There's a lot of questions on that one, but as far as if you want the script to run, then $PS home will let you know where to put it for all users, all hosts. So it will run no matter what on that machine. If you're looking for specific users or specific profiles, just look into PowerShell profiles and they'll give you the locations to all those.
So I'm giving Jordan a point, but JJ, I'm giving you a point in the shape of a $sign because you're very dollar conscious on behalf of the client. So well done.
Well, I just want to make sure that if they're logged in and they accidentally stay logged in, they're going to be charged hourly. That's probably not cheap for a laser cutter.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what you're charging. If you want to post in the chat, I'm curious.
Hey guys, other than the firewall settings, what else is needed for PDQ inventory to recognize computers? I have several computers showing online, but with errors like the account name is invalid or does not exist, no error code provided by Windows, failed to connect to Service Manager, and others. Thanks, C. Castro.
All right, so there's 4 major things you want to go to, and we have built into the product the remote repair. If you come in here, we'll just apparently analyze this machine. It's going to go in and it'll let you know basically the 4 critical things, the access to what shares, and there's some information if you hit help for that. If those 4 are coming back as working fine and it's still not working, I'd open a ticket with support. It's something we might want to dive in and take a look at.
You know, the other ones you're going to see that you may have issues with are like if you got dirty Active Directory and do an Active Directory sync, you're going to get machines, you know. If your DNS is not clean, which a lot of them are not, you're going to get, you know, target name mismatch kind of things. And then anytime it has a, you know, account access issues, you probably need to look at the credentials you're using to access that machine.
Very nice. Gentlemen.
Score for Lex.
Yes, I did give you a point. Is there a way to configure network scans via command line and use in a scheduled task so I can automatically scan certain subnets on a regular interval? Thank you. A. Solomon.
I'm about to get into another window I didn't previously center. So close.
And Jake even gave you a minute to get it centered before he showed it. And that's not centered.
Well, I wasn't thinking. I was reading the question. So
Good enough for Jordan.
We're looking for a scan one, so you can do scan computers with that one within the command line. So we have some built-in command line for inventory. It looks like we do have one for scan computers that you can specify a specific one, but let's dive in and find out.
Did you hit tab?
Nope, apparently I just ran the standard scan on 0 computers. So apparently I need to learn more about what the scan computer is, but there is some command line you can use to run that one. And once you have the command for the specific scan, you should be able to kick that off with anything that would kick it off an interval. I get half a point since I didn't follow through with the complete command line.
We've already established we're not doing half points.
Okay, so no points.
I gave you one anyway. It was a good effort. Guys, do you know if you guys have any current plans to natively integrate with smartdeploy? Thank you, Brian Y.
I can answer that. No.
Now, is there a way to do it through a PowerShell scanner? Because if you can capture the data through PowerShell, there might be some. I may be speaking out of turn here, but
I don't know enough about smartdeploy to even hazard a guess on if we could do it.
I just know that there's no plans to integrate. That's
not,
the no.
not
but
natively. No.
Yeah. Can you do it? Yeah.
You might be able to.
Maybe. Don't know.
And Colby once again points out I didn't answer the question because I answered on scanning, not on network discovery. Which network?
That's another good question that Colby brought up is what exactly do you want PDQ to do with smartdeploy? Because they're both pretty powerful. What particular features are you looking to integrate between the two? Well, I don't think we're gonna. You can move on to the next one, and we should give no points to anyone.
Yeah, no points. No,
Okay.
none for you. Next question. All right. Gentlemen, I have devices on an external network that PDQ cannot reach. What is the best method for capturing the device inventory if one exists? Can I manually input their information, or perhaps is there some sort of app that can scan the info and then import into PDQ? Garen K.
I mean,
Best
the only way I can
method?
think of is if they have the ability for VPN, you can get that open up to where you can scan it. But as far as an app to scan one location, import another, we don't have anything like that built at the moment.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be like a network connectivity layer there for that to work.
And then, looks like in chat, Marcel says router specified on a remote network, and Colby points to our RAS VPN server setup, which can help people that are external get connected, at least for deploying inventory, able to access them. I hit my drink.
It didn't. Did it spill?
Nope, it's been empty since
Okay.
pre-show.
All right. Just checking there. I know we've only got 2 shows left, but we don't want to spill on the equipment. Hi, guys. I want to launch a command which launches the old software, newsid, on old computers on Windows 7 just to change the SID. So I copy the exe and run a command on PDQ, nerd, blah, 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 but nothing happens. How can I do it? Damien S.
So, for that one, if you are deploying it as the deploy user, it might not pop up. Where if it's based on someone has to be logged onto the machine, you might need to run that as logged on user. But I don't know enough about the application running to guess past that.
I'm going with what he said.
Hey guys, sometimes our lapse password becomes out of sync with AD because we use deep freeze on public computers. I've made some tools in inventory to thaw the PC, reset the lapse password, and gpupdate/force on the client. Sometimes the password resets and sometimes it doesn't. What's going on? Jeremy, who spoke in class today, G.
From my testing when we did the credentials webcast a while ago, there's something about when you run the command against the object before it updates and replicates out through the domain controller, there's just a delay in there. So I'm wondering if this case, if you're setting the change and then it's freezing again before it's pushed out, but I don't know. But that shouldn't matter since it's an AD object, not the machine. I don't think you can freeze that. So I'm not sure. It should definitely be changing on that one. Sorry, I was going based on the actual computer object that freezes, not the AD object where the lapse password is stored. So I'm not sure without seeing the PowerShell script. I can't really.
I would think it'd be a timing issue, Jordan. I think I agree with you. I think it might be a timing issue.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Any points awarded there?
No, because I
Okay.
went on the wrong path. I'm not sure if the lapse has to check in and it can't once it's frozen with the AD object. In that case, it would be a timing issue. But there's just a lot in there. Maybe keep it unfrozen for a little bit longer and see if it takes care of that issue.
Dear Lex and Jordan, I have a computer in my environment that was previously being scanned, but for the last 69 days is stuck in initializing scan status. I have rebooted the computer and made sure net logon service enabled. Any other ideas? Reggie D.
I can't believe we slipped that one through.
For that, if it's to the initializing stage, it means it's passed most of its tests and everything. On that one, I would definitely open a ticket with support, just in case there's a bug or something we have to track down, see if we can't get that fixed. Because once it's initializing, it should complete. I can't think of anything that would block it.
Point to Jordan.
For
Lex, Jim?
saying ask support. If that's an answer, oh boy.
Hi guys, I'm really interested to have package install some software that I'm not able to install. Is that possible? Suggest new software to have packages in PDQ. I think he's asking if he can suggest packages for the package library. I don't know.
I think you can suggest them. I mean, here's, packages in our package library. One, the vendor's got to allow us to distribute them. So there's that issue. Two, it also needs to be a package that's fairly widely used. So some of these one-offs are probably not, going to make the package library. But nothing wrong with suggesting it.
Yeah,
Easy point for Lex.
A point for Lex and a point for Colby.
Yeah, for Kobe that put in the request page.
A nice, easy URL to get that request in.
Yeah, usually if we don't do it after the request comes in, it's not because it's not that we don't want to, it's we can't get permission from the people that create the software to distribute
Usually.
like that.
All right, guys, is it possible to run a scanner to see what group policies are applied to a PC? Sincerely, Billy Z.
There's a video on that. I do that, I swear, 2 times, 3 times a day doing demos. Yeah, you can totally do that. It's a WMI scanner.
There's a WMI scanner. I think in the PowerShell repository we have one built out as well that you can just import the inventory one. The PowerShell scanner, and that will tell you what is applied. But it's only going to be computer-based policies unless you run it against a logged-on user. You can't really grab the user policies in that case.
Hi guys, when I want to deploy PowerShell 5 on a computer with Windows 7, it always fails. Have you got an explanation about this issue? Damien S.
I just want to know why you still have Windows 7, man. Okay, fair enough question, though.
Can I see what the error is on that one? Oh, Marcel says not supported.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's probably built on the .NET that is built on isn't supported on 7, maybe. But yeah, not supported is. I don't need to build on that. That's correct.
Gentlemen, I have a number of users that use VPN to log into my network and can't be seen by PDQ inventory. Is there a PDQ agent I could install to help out with this?
We tried at one point that didn't go well. We have plans in the future. I don't have specific times on when that's coming.
Now, I would also add to this, you can connect through VPN. I mean, the ports, there are some videos and there's some things on how to open up those ports across your VPN. Some of the other caveats, I'd watch, there's 2 videos, a short one and a long one. The long one, if you're not overly familiar with the setup of your VPN and your VPN clients, I'd watch that. Josh does an amazing job of explaining how it all works. If you're very familiar, Jordan and I have a nice short 5 or 6 minute video you can watch. It'll tell you, here's the ports, here's the things that need to be forwarded to DNS to make that happen. So you should be able to make it happen with your VPN.
And with the VPN as well, one of the issues is scavenging. You have to get real aggressive on scavenging, otherwise it could fall out of date.
That's true.
Dear Lex and Jordan, in inventory, is there a way to have it remove the IP on a machine entry, laptop, that is not checked in over a certain period of time, other than deleting? Since old machine does not check in, it retains the IP in inventory that was assigned to a different machine. Thanks, Chris G.
Unfortunately, as long as it is scanning, there's nothing you can change. If you set one to not allow scan, you can change some information. I'm not sure if we're going to open that and see if IP is one that you can do. Yep. So if you don't allow scanning, you can modify that by hand. But if scanning is enabled, which it sounds like on these windows, there's no real way to go in and change that without, I guess, some sort of SQL query that I wouldn't want to mess with.
All right, our final question of the day. Guys, can we get a custom package library, one we maintain privately? Marcel L.
So one idea that we have had for that is basically templates where we don't provide the file, and then users have to supply the install file themselves. But it's just something we just weren't able to do. So if it's something like that, if you built the template in XML and had it in like the PDQ Reddit where people could just use that and then just know they have to supply the install file, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know if I'm bypassing legal issues.
Are they wanting
here.
something like chocolatey?
Yeah, I'm
Sort of the way they do it, where it's community driven, like a community driven package library? I don't know.
Yeah, and as far as going into the, like if we did use the Reddit, whatever word that XML's provided, I can't vouch for the legal side of that. I don't know enough. I just know we can't provide the install file, but that should technically work.
Yeah, XML is the instructions, so for the install.
Yeah, the PDQ Reddits are pretty open. If we wanted to build a channel for that where we're supply XMLs for such a thing, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, we have one straggler question. Guys, sometimes I'm confused with packages to choose in PDQ deploy. For example, between Adobe DC, Adobe Patch, I have to go on the library to read the differences between versions, and then I go back in the windows to deploy the one I want. Is that possible to add comments directly when we deploy? Damien S.
I mean, comments in, I guess, in what sense when we deploy? So as far as tracking down which one Adobe is, that's a maze for me too. I did a lot of the testing on that and we get lost in which one to download. If you download it, you can modify the description on one of those. I think that maintains. I'm going to need some.
Yeah, Colby says the downloaded packages retain that info in their descriptions field.
Oh, Colby beat me again. And also, he was very sure while mine ended in a question mark.
You just got to quit making your voice go up at the end of the sentence. I am Jordan. So.
He just reads whatever we put on the prompter.
No, I hope not. I hope not. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for the chat, for making it seem like I'm smarter than I am and took credit for like most of your work, and I don't even feel bad about it.
But do you want the totals?
Oh yeah, what's the totals?
All right, let's give you the totals today. The audience came in with 8 points, not bad. Lex had 11, and Jordan dominated with 15. Well done.
It is nice when cheating pays off.
Don't forget my $sign.
Yeah,
And the
JJ got the $sign.
And the way I ring things, $sign wins.
Money.
All right, yeah. So you were looking at the champion through only minimal cheating. Hopefully, turn in next week where we're going to have another great show for you. For PDQ.com, I'm Jordan.
Thank you for joining our webcast today. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to our support forums. We appreciate you watching our webcast, and we will see you back here next week.